What's up, YouTube? It's Xandar the Legend, and today we're doing our pre-release weekend review. As you'll notice, some of the cards are out of focus in the back. We're not really worrying about those. I'm just enjoying my new sorting tray from BCW. Going to be using this a lot with our new box openings. Everything that's important is up front, and we'll be looking at the cards in that order. So I had a great pre-release. Unfortunately, I did not win a lot of packs. I only won 3. As you'll notice, they're not opened, and I'll explain that in 1 minute. Number one thing from the pre-release weekend, it's going to be the Sunken Ruins. One thing better about pulling Sunken Ruins, I actually got to play blue-black and really enjoy this card. Almost got out about every game, and it was just awesome. Got some foil lands. Always try to trade into foil lands before I leave a pre-release. A lot of people don't care about these, and they want some of the newer cards from the set. I will gladly trade into full art foil lands every single time, especially islands. I got 3 islands. One was stuck hidden there. 2 plains, 2 mountains, and a swamp. A forest. My goodness. I didn't get any forest, did I? I guess people don't want to trade their forest full arts. Going straight into the new Oath of the Gatewatch cards. Got really, really high hopes for this guy, and you're about to see why. If you came down in the game, I mean, it just gave you such card advantage. It gave you a lot. You could see there. I mean, it's a Thoughtseize with a 4/4 body. Not too many disadvantages to this card. Most of the time, they try to exile to get rid of it. Yeah, it's just really, really good card. Definitely gonna see play in Modern. That's why I picked up a couple foil of these, and my cards are sticking together here. I made sure I left with a playset. I mean, I think you're gonna need a playset of these for Standard, if not just Modern. Next card's Eldrazi Mimic. I don't know. I mean, this guy was pretty good most of the time. I think he could see play in Standard. I didn't get a playset of those. I should have traded into probably one more. We'll see. He's pretty cheap right now. Did pull a foil normal one, so that's kind of cool. 3 Endbringers from our pre-releases. If you land him down, he's good. He's just a solid card. 6 mana, 5/5. Untaps each phase. Get the tap. You can also draw a card for 2 colorless. Pretty good. Deceiver Form, yeah, 7 mana for an 8/8. Everything else can copy him before combat, or I mean, basically gives you a scry advantage. Pretty solid card. Matter Reshapers. Wish I could have gotten to 2 more of these. Pretty rare. I'd like to see a pre-release promo of this. I think this guy will definitely play in Standard. 3 mana for 3/2 is pretty aggressive, and he's kind of got a little bit of collected company on him. So, I mean, yeah, I just can't imagine a deck he wouldn't see play in. Out of 20 packs, 1 Warping Well. 1 Warping Well all weekend. We did pull a Sphinx of the Final Ward. That was part of our first deck. He won us a lot of games. Really, really good card. Thought Harvester, just a foil uncommon. The Deep Venom Skulker, I don't think we really got to play with him this weekend. Overwhelming Denial we didn't play with. Foil Negate. Always love just some of the simple common foils. They usually end up going for $3 to $6. I mean, everybody needs a negate. The Mendes Vanguard was the... I did get to play this guy. He didn't seem that powerful. He could get out of control real quick. As far as a common mythic, either my luck's crazy or this lady's going to be really common. Great card. 6 mana. Almost always got me 5 life. I did miss an angel counter once because I dropped her down and I misplayed because they had 3 creatures and I had 2. And yeah, I have to have when she enters the battlefield. It just did not work out for me. 2 Displacers. I can't believe how high this card's going, but man, once you see how much he can flicker, I saw this guy in action flickering 3 different opponents before. You know, he'd leave his mana open, flicker all 3 of their attackers or their biggest attackers, and if they try to target one of his characters on his turn, he'd flicker that. This card could be really, really good. And 1 Oath of Gideon, basically a token generator. Out of all those cards, which are really sticking together for some reason, I guess my hands are sweaty, I'm most excited about the 2 foil pre-release stamped Thought-Knot Seers. I think he's going to see a lot of play. I'm pretty excited about that. Going into red Goblin Dark Dwellers, I traded in for this. Actually, a friend just kind of gave it to me as he knew I was going to want it. I think it's going to see play in Modern, possibly play in Standard. Being able to get a 3 mana spell out for free is just awesome, especially the Dromoka's command, a Colligan's command, all of that. Eldrazi Obligator, he gives us a body real early if you need it. He can take over something else also. I think he's good. For 3 mana, I think he'll definitely see play. I did pull a foil one of those as well on top. Embodiment of Fury is actually a really solid card, but it's just an uncommon foil. Oath to Chandra, it dealt some damage. It's good. Fall of the Titans is just going to be incredible. I like it for removal from the board and damage to a player, and I like it for, Two-Headed Giant. It was awesome, obviously, all of that. Foil common, Zeta's Commando, pretty cool card. This card actually wrecked a couple people this weekend. I don't know, he's never a big problem for me, but I did see some games where people had 2 or 3 of these on the board, tapping constantly for damage. Black, we didn't pull hardly any black at all. Remorseless Punishment, I think it has potential to see play. We'll just have to wait and see. Sifter of Skulls, 4 mana for 4/3, devoid. When a non-token creature dies, could be really cool in 4-color Rally. We'll just have to wait and see. Did pull a foil, Grasp of Darkness, which is good because if you watch my other pre-release videos, I talked about how I didn't like this as much as Tar Snare, I think. And this card is hands down, without a doubt, 10 times better than Tar Snare. The Gladeheart Cavalry was from the pre-release box that we opened together on YouTube, so we didn't get to play him, nor would I probably play him. This card's kind of a hidden bomb, the Sylvan Advocate. 2 mana for a 2/3. A lot of times he was a 4/5, and people had a lot of land creatures. Not too many people were playing green, but they were splashing green to play him and getting a couple land creatures as well. And then I got 2 Vile Redeemers. I don't really know what I thought about this guy. I never played him, but I do have a promo stamped one, which I liked quite a bit. As far as manlands, let's see how rare or common those are going to be. I get 2 Wandering Fumals, which I don't know why I don't have the foil one on top. I don't like this manland as much. My favorite manland's actually the Needle Spires, but it's pretty rare, so we're not actually going to get to use it very much. Did pull a couple Hissing Quagmires, and they're pretty good. Going in some of our other gold cards, I actually pulled a couple of these, but I was able to trade away one of these for a Thought-Knot Seer. So you really can't complain about that. And I'm pretty sure I traded it for a promo Thought-Knot Seer as well. We did end up having a total of 6 wastes throughout 20 packs to give you an idea of how rare it is to pull a full art waste. And I'll be right back. Hey, and we're back. Sorry about that. Things always tend to come up when we're doing videos. That was it as far as our Oath of the Gatewatch cards. Now this is the next stack I want to talk about, this big stack right here. I'm one of those guys, I never get lucky, and I see all these things online on YouTube, people talking about this great deal of this great deal of that. Well, it finally happened this weekend. I finally got my first great deal, I would say. Just random person, I know him, good guy, he needs some money for his car that broke down. I felt really bad about that, so I tried to buy as much stuff as I could from him before he traded into the card shop. And so let's go through what I got this weekend. I'm not going to go over the price because I just don't want to be that kind of guy, but I got an insane deal on all these cards. 1 Drowned Catacomb, a playset of Copperline Gorges, a Sulphur Falls, 3 Steam Vents, last breeding pool I needed for a playset, a Hollowed Fountain, 2 Temple Gardens, a Godless Shrine, some Boggles, because why not get a playset of Boggles, and some Scavenging Ooze promos, all for an insanely great deal to really help me get some of my modern playset stuff going. So I'm pretty excited about that. And on top of all that, we did win a door prize of a Garrick. So yeah, pretty good weekend overall. That's pretty much it for today's video. I'm going to do some common and uncommon stuff for people that stay around. But if that's what you're into, is the rares, what we got, pre-release promos, and kind of what you're going to see, that's good. But after that, let's go into the uncommons and commons. We're going to go through them real quick, guys, but I know there's some people out there who do want to see them, of what you can expect to pull from about 20 packs about for Zendikar as far as uncommons and commons. Some Prophets of Distortion, a Gifts of Tusk, Unity of Purpose, and 1 Void Shatter, so that's going to be kind of a more rare uncommon. Same thing with the Roiling Waters and the Cyclone Sires. I can't say we actually pulled several of these, but this is the only ones I have. I end up giving away a lot of my commons and uncommons to some people there at the pre-release. And like I said, I would trade anything and everything I could for any rares and foil lands. So last uncommons, the Thought Harvester and the, Agrippa Royal, which I would say this is really rare because I only pulled this one. I know I didn't pull any more of these. So pretty cool. We've got some gravity negators, some ancient crabs, some sweep away. Sweep away is really common. Negate's pretty common. The ancient crabs are common. Really, all of this. And that's a black, so I don't even know how that got in there. Evidently, my sorting tray did not help me there. But that's kind of what we're looking like. Commons are commons. I really don't want to go through those too much anymore. But we'll go over the uncommons. Pressing to Service, you're definitely going to see this during draft. Pretty common card. Embodiment of Fury is pretty rare. Devouring Flames seem to be pretty rare as well. And then just a bunch of commons after that. This guy felt really common for a common. The only other common that felt kind of rare was the Maw of Kozilek, but man, that's such a good card. Some direct damage. Expedite seemed a little rare for a common, I will say that. I don't think we got too many of those in here. Maybe another one or two. Another Maw of Kozilek. There's another Expedite. So, uncommons for white. Wall of Resurgence. Every time I pulled these was whenever I was not able to play white, which is really sad because 0/6 for 3 mana with a 3/3 creature is just ridiculous. Allied Reinforcements, I mean, kind of a little higher, Raise the Alarm, pretty decent. Step Glider, I don't know if I really liked him too much. Never really got to play with him. Immolating Glare is really good. 2 mana, destroy a creature it's attacking. Relief Captain, definitely got to play him. And Stoneforge Acolyte, never played him. And Make a Stand, which I did not run as well, because I value removal more than this. Always played Isolation Zones every single time they came up. Shoulder to Shoulder, Alpha Protector's Mighty Leap's been reprinted. Searing Light's pretty good. Destroy target attacking blocking creature power 2 or less. It was alright. I ran like one of those one time. Pretty much Isolation Zone non-stop. I really liked the Ondu War Cleric. 2 mana for a 2/2, then give 2 life. There's a lot of times where you can actually tap him and get the life out of it. Same thing right here. Tap target creature. The Spawnbinder Mage is not too bad. I would definitely play with her as well. That's pretty much it for white. A lot of the same stuff as you can see. Green and black is where it gets a little more thin in this set, and green seems pretty underpowered as well. 1 Birthing Hulk, 1 Rune in their wake, Anissa's Judgment. I never played with any of these cards, obviously. Bond's Mortality, and a Harvester Troll. It could be decent. I mean, 4 mana for a 4/5. I just hate losing a land to do it. Land's so important. Some support cards, some give your cards reach, and, you know, typical green worms, shenanigans, card advantage, some life gain. This guy seemed really solid. I just never really had a good pool to play with him. 5 mana for a 5/4 Vigilance and Trample. Very solid elf warrior. I mean, he's an elf ally too, which is kind of what you want to see on creatures. Same thing, the Netcaster Spider, pretty good. 3 mana for a 2/3 with reach. If he blocks somebody flying, he's really a 4/3. That's pretty much it for green. Black, Grasp of Darkness, just a solid card. Pretty common too, as we can see. There's a good chance you get to play with it. The Null Callers, I never got to play with them. They got a pretty cool synergy they could do if you're exiling, or if you're putting cards in the graveyard. Reaver Drone, I just never want to take the chance of losing life for it. I just never ran it. It's really not too bad though. Havoc Sower, pretty good. You can pump him unlimited times. I saw this guy win several games. Oblivion Strike was very solid removal. Tar Snare, pretty good removal. Not as good as the other one. Cosmic Shrieker was really good. I ran several of these. The Translator was really good for a 3/5 for that. Slaughter Drone's just insane. Be able to give Death Touch. Vampire Envoy. I mean, this is an ally as well. This is such a great card. Such a great card. You don't even have to attack. You can just tap it with your Ondu War Cleric and gain 3 life instead of just the 2. And that's kind of it as far as looking at black. I do like the 1 black combat trick, because people weren't expecting it to give you +2 attack and regenerate your creature. So that was kind of nice as well. You can honestly even, there's some other mechanics you can do with that would be really neat, since the creature is technically dying and then coming back to the battlefield when it regenerates. Multicolored cards. Storm Chaser Mage, it's the new Swift Spear. It's going to be really good. Never got to see anybody really play with it this weekend. I only pulled 1. It's a pretty rare card. Very, very solid. 2 mana, 1/3, Flying Haste with Prowess. I can definitely see a deck with 4 Swift Spears, 4 of this, and a ton of spells. Flare Drone was insanely incredible. Thankfully, I only got destroyed by this guy like 2 games all day Saturday. But if you pulled more than one of these guys, I mean, you're pretty much forced to go black-red, I felt like, because 3-1 first strike, and I lose 1 life every time the colorless enters. It was just really, really, really powerful. Mind Melter was insane also. He's a 3-mana 2/2. It's unblockable. And then you can exile cards also. I definitely see this guy getting played in some type of Esper. He could be an Esper. I mean, he's going to let you exile cards off the top of the library. So really good. Void Grafter. Never got a chance to play this guy, but he did do really good against me a couple times. Cliffhaven Vampire. I wish I would have pulled more of these. Really, really solid. Jorga Auxiliary. Never got a chance to play it because of green. I never played the Balith Knolls. And I never got to play the Relentless Hunter, but I do feel like Relentless Hunter is pretty decent. Weapons Trainer, I never got to play either, but I did play Red-White a couple of times. I just never had one to play then. And I never had equipment. I really would have liked to pull in the Captain Claws, which you're about to see. I mean, actually, we've been over the rares, so we know we did not pull a Captain's Claws. Walker of the Waste, really good card. And in one of my pulls, I actually had 4 Wastelands in one of these guys. So for 5 mana, he came out as an 8/8. Most games for 5 mana, he came out as a 5/5 if I was able to play him. And I think one game I wasn't able to play him. Never got to use this on anybody, but +3, -3 was really good. I mean, you're looking at 2 mana -3. Little more color options better than Grasp of Darkness. Really good card. I just didn't get the chance to play it. And I did have the one Warping Well, which I played. Wish I wouldn't have played it. It's an extremely solid card for Modern. I don't know how much I think about it for Standard at the moment, and especially for the pre-release, it was just not good. Strider's Harness, pretty common, obviously. And then the Lantern was pretty decent. The Warden of Geometries was insanely good. Pathfinder was pretty good. A lot of I mean, you're going to have tons of Seer's Lanterns. And, I mean, you're just going to see, you're going to see, if you're drafting, expect to see those 3 cards, no matter what, a lot. Seer's Lantern's pretty game-changing. Kozilek's Pathfinder is really game-changing. The Crawler, not so much. As far as extra lands, we did get a couple. I mean, just to give you an idea of the uncommon lands, I mean, out of 20 packs, you're looking at just 3. So these lands, I could see them. I hate that they come in to play tap, but they could see some play in Standard and stuff, and yeah, they could probably be worth a good 50 cents or $1 each. So hopefully you get them out of your packs. Other than that, only land that was really good, I felt like, no idea how I got 2 of my geometries in here, was not this land. I like this one a lot. Crumbling Vestige. Pretty rare, too, for a common. It enters the battlefield, you get 1 mana of any color to your pool. So you get, even though it comes in tapped, you're not losing any mana that turn, and you do get waste the turn after. I really, really like that one. I think it's pretty good. So, well, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a great time at your pre-release. Even though I didn't win, I mean, I did win some games. I never went too bad. I almost always had 2 wins. It was just always the 2 losses or 1 loss and a tie. Wasn't too proud of how well I did, but I was definitely proud of what I pulled, what I traded for, and I think the weekend went really good. Most importantly, I got to do a first pre-release with one of my newer Magic friends, as well as do a 2-headed giant game with him. So it was a great weekend. I don't know what I think about Oath of the Gatewatch yet. We'll make a final decision on that come next week once we do our Fat Pack and Booster Box opening. But right now, it's feeling a little underwhelming.